So if you're a product vendor, then you probably already know why you need bonuses. Bonuses are an excellent way to increase the perceived value of your product or offer. They also significantly increase your conversion rate. Many of your buyers, no matter how good your product is, are sitting on the fence waiting for one last nudge towards becoming a customer. Bonuses can often be this difference between a buyer and a page abandoner. Then there are also those people who absolutely love the bonuses for the bonus's sake and will actually judge your product or your offer based on the number of bonuses. So making sure you have a good amount of attractive bonuses can go a long way towards maximizing your sales. Finally, there's another much less talked about advantage of bonuses. They act as an excellent form of collateral that you can offer in your guarantee statement. Very few sellers do this, but it's incredibly effective and maximizes the amount of trust you can gain with potential buyers. Basically what you do is you offer your standard guarantee, such as a 30-day money-back guarantee, but then you state that you're going to go above and beyond and reverse the risk. In this second part of your guarantee, you're going to promise that the buyers, upon requesting a refund, will even get to keep the bonuses, which both makes the buyer feel like they're taking less risk, but also reinforces their faith that you're certain your product can do what it says. Otherwise, why would you be taking so much risk on your own shoulders? If you've appraised the dollar amount of these bonuses at, for example, $500, then you can pitch it as a 100% money back plus $500 value back guarantee. Now you might be asking, won't that just encourage people to buy with the full intention of requesting a refund just to get the bonuses for free? Well, the answer is yes. But that actually tends to be a very tiny percentage of people. More importantly, the amount of people who are honest and will now buy the product and otherwise may not have, far outweighs the number of professional refunders you will attract. But what about affiliate bonuses? You may be asking yourself, why should affiliates bother with bonuses at all? Isn't that the vendor's responsibility? Well, that makes sense if you want to be on the same even ground as all the other affiliates competing to make their sale with their affiliate link. But is that really what you want? Of course not. You want to be way out in front. And it's been proven that offering bonuses as an affiliate can 5x your affiliate sales. You need to give your audience a reason to use your affiliate link instead of somebody else's. This is especially the case these days when people's inboxes are full of dozens of marketers pitching the same product to them. What is there to set you apart from the rest? Bonuses. That's literally it. Unless the buyer is your best buddy, all they really care about is which option gives them the most value, and rightfully so. That's their job as a consumer. So the way this works is you create a quick and easy landing page, add bonuses to it, and right at the top you tell them, grab all the bonuses on this page when you purchase product X via my link. But you can't just slap a bunch of bonuses on that page and expect them to buy through your link. You've got to do it in a way that makes sense in relation to the product you're promoting. And that's what we'll be covering next. As mentioned previously, when you're offering bonuses as an affiliate, you can't just do so with no rhyme or reason. The same goes for offering bonuses as a vendor. There's got to be some context and logical sense to the bonuses. Specifically, they need to have relevance, utility, and value. Not one or two of those, all three. Let's take a closer look at each of those. First up, relevance. You have to keep in mind you're dealing with real, intelligent human beings here. When a buyer is considering a product, the buyer is aware of the category and type of product, and their thoughts are aligned with that specific sphere. If the product is a list-building product, then they're mentally in the sphere of list-building or lead generation. If you slap a bonus down that is way outside of that sphere, like a course on product creation, they'll notice a lack of relevance, and they'll likely dismiss what you're offering. In fact, they might think you're just plain dumb. On the other hand, if you offer them bonuses like a landing page editor or a course on increasing their opt-in rate or a pack of lead magnets to use for list building, they'll immediately recognize that that's something relevant to the list building product. If necessary, you can stretch or force relevance for a category that's just one step removed from the category of the product. An example of this would be, hey, after you start building your list, you'll need to start marketing to them, so here's a course on email marketing. With that statement, you've established relevance. It's indirect because it's not in the exact same sphere as list building, but it's only removed from the product category of list building by one logical step. Buyers will notice the truthfulness of that relevance claim, and it's likely to jive with them. If you try to go too many steps away from that original product category though, like if you build a list, you'll need email marketing, that's one step, and if you do email marketing, you'll need to do product creation to sell them something, that's two steps. Well, then you'll create a logical disconnect and your bonus will seem irrelevant, because it is. Now, I'm not saying that any time you offer a bonus that's two steps removed from the category, like that example I just gave you, that it's going to be a deal breaker. And if you're super crafty with your wording and your sales copy and the way you pitch it, you might totally get away with it. But generally speaking, your bonuses will be more effective if they're directly relevant or only removed from the product category by one step. Next up, let's talk about utility. Once you've satisfied the relevance requirement, you'll need to ensure your bonus has utility or the ability to be utilized in a clear way. Luckily, this is relatively easy once you've checked the relevance block, because it goes hand in hand with relevance most of the time. The most effective type of utility when it comes to bonuses is augmentation. You want to present something that isn't just technically useful on paper, but something that specifically augments the intended purpose of the original product you're promoting. In this case, the more specific the usefulness, the better. For example, if the product is a course on list building, then simply handing over yet another course on general list building doesn't provide a specific type of usefulness. It's relevant, yes, and it's also technically useful, yeah, but it's not useful in a meaningful or specific way, or in a way that augments the original product. Honestly, you could probably still get away with it, but the more specific the usefulness is, the more attractive the bonus will be, and the more likely you'll get the commission for that sale. So if the product was a list building course, then an exit intent WordPress plugin that presents a lead magnet with an opt-in form pop-up as people try to leave a web page would be a winner. It's relevant and useful, and it has specific usefulness that augments the original product, not just general technical usefulness. Finally, there's value. Once you know your bonus provides both relevance and utility, you need to ensure it provides value, both real and perceived. A potential buyer might look at your above-mentioned exit intent plugin and acknowledge that it has relevance and utility, but if it looks like it was created in 2007, they won't be too excited about it. This one is probably the most common problem you'll notice with bonuses put out by both vendors and affiliates, including high-level famous ones. They all come from PLR or MRR wholesaler websites, and usually only costed somewhere between $4 or $10 for a license. But that's okay. The problem isn't where they come from. A lot of that content is actually very useful. The problem is that they still look like they came from those places. It doesn't matter if that ebook or course or plugin genuinely has value. If it lacks perceived value because it looks old and ugly as dirt, the buyer won't like it. You have to keep in mind that over the last several years, buyers have got banner blindness when it comes to seeing the same old, cliché, stereotypical 3D e-cover images that look like they were created in 2008. We're going to deal more with the look and feel of bonuses in Chapter 4, but for now just be aware that looks play an important role in value. Furthermore, quantity and size are also major factors in value. A long ebook will seem more valuable than a report in most cases. A multi-lesson video course will seem more valuable than a single video, and you get the idea. That applies within each bonus, individually, but also to your collection of bonuses as a whole. Finally, rarity or uniqueness is important as well. By this, we mean any bonuses that break the typical ebooks and video courses mold. This can include software tools, done-for-you landing pages, recorded interviews, advertising or traffic packages, consultations or strategy sessions, landing page critiques, and so on. Because these types of things are seen less often, they have a higher perceived value, and probably a higher real value as well. So if you're able to, definitely consider offering something along these lines to your bonus collection too. Now that you've got an idea of how to satisfy the big 3 requirements for a bonus, we'll need to figure out how to acquire them, and that's what we'll cover next. So there are several ways and places to curate materials you're using as bonuses. Probably the most common form of bonus material for affiliates, and for vendors who are just starting out, is PLR or MRR content. That stands for Private Label Rights or Master Resale Rights. Basically, you acquire the rights to redistribute a product yourself and offer it as a bonus. There are 2 major ways to go about doing this. Buying newer PLR products that recently launched in a marketplace like JVZoo or Warrior Plus, or acquiring older materials from a PLR or MRR wholesaler. The benefits of grabbing a recently launched PLR product are pretty obvious. They're usually more attractive looking, and the material inside of them is usually more up to date. The downside, though, is that they're usually more expensive. This probably isn't a problem in the case of wanting just 1 or 2 bonuses, but if you're looking to maximize your conversions with a good stack of bonuses, this can be a serious issue, especially if you're just starting out and you don't have much capital to spend. The obvious benefit of approaching a wholesale PLR or MRR store, and you can just Google literally PLR store or MRR store, is that you'll be able to acquire several products for an incredibly low amount. The downside is that they're going to look old and may have some out-of-date content. As long as it's not too severely out of date, this might not be a huge issue. Remember, you're giving this away for free after all. But it's the old look and feel of the product that will result in a lower perceived value. Chapter 4 covers how to rectify this problem and repackage your bonuses in an attractive way. And this assumes that the license that you got for your PLR or resale rights content allows you to modify the e-covers. Needless to say, you should always review these materials and ensure that they meet a minimum standard of quality, and if they are out of date, make sure they're not so severely out of date that they would actually harm your buyers' businesses. Finally, the other option is using your own materials. If you've been online for a while, there's a good chance that you'll already have existing content of your own. This might be blog content, lead magnets, or reports you created, or even a collection of paid products of yours, such as ebooks, video courses, or software. In the case of blog content, you would simply have to repurpose this and repackage it as a bonus product, probably in ebook form. But in the case of existing products of your own, they might already be in a ready-to-go state as is. Worst case scenario, if they're a bit old, you want to create an updated e-cover for them. And speaking of creating new e-covers, let's move on to the next lesson where we're going to discuss how to beautify and repackage your bonus content. Whether you got your bonuses from a PLR wholesaler or from your own old content, there's a good chance it suffers from a very common disease that plagues even some of the most famous marketers' bonuses: ugliness. Now that may have sounded a bit comical, but the effect it can have on your conversion rates is no joke. Ugly bonuses kill sales, period. If you're going to leverage bonuses to increase sales, they need to be beautiful. Here's how you can do that. First, take note of all the components inside of the bonus. In the case of a PLR or MRR product, you'll have to actually do some digging around inside the zip file and all of its folders. Did you find a resource guide? Write it down. 4 videos? A folder named Bonus Audios with audio versions of the videos? An ebook? Yep, write it all down. Next, you're going to want to find a mascot or theme for this bonus. Go to an inexpensive stock photo site like PhotoDune or Adobe Stock, and look for an image of a man or a woman with a brightly colored but not pure white background. Make sure this is not a cliché business suit wearing moron that you're used to seeing on products made in 2008. Have you ever met an online entrepreneur who wears a tie? Seriously. The ideal look we're going for is the clean, casual entrepreneur with, for example, a button-up shirt or blouse, collar opened, sleeves rolled up, the down-to-earth, rugged self-starter. That is the modern image of an entrepreneur that will resonate with your audience today, not a guy in a business suit. Take that image and go to a site called myecovermaker.com. And yes, fork over the measly $14 or $15 for a full account. Trust me, it's worth it. Go into the eCover creator, choose one of the iMac-looking monitors, and upload your stock image. Zoom, crop, and arrange the model so he or she is a little off-center, and choose a dark font or text effect to the title of the product. Make sure it looks cool, epic, professional, whatever. Most importantly though, make sure it pops out on the background. And go ahead and place this title off-center a little bit over your model's shoulder. Once you've finalized that image and gone back to your dashboard, click Edit on that same e-cover, which will create a duplicate, then change the template to a DVD case. You'll have to stretch and drag and rearrange the image and text to fit the new shape, but this only takes a few seconds. Then finalize and repeat this process with an audio CD case, a disc, an ebook, or whatever until you have a representation of each of those components you wrote down earlier. Download all of these as transparencies. Now it's back to the stock photo site again. This time to grab a background image. You're looking for a tabletop of some sort with a blurred background. Download this and open your favorite graphics program. GIMP is free and effective if you don't have one. Import those transparent e-cover images and arrange them with the iMac at the back and the other components in front of or on either side of it. Duplicate the various items to match the number of them in the bonus. For example, make sure there's 4 DVD case covers if there's 4 videos in the zip file. What you should have here is a gorgeous, sleek, new-looking image of the previously vomit-inducing bonus product. This will likely be one of the most attractive-looking bonus images your buyers have ever seen, since almost no one else goes through the trouble of making their bonuses look this good. Now that you've got the gist of things, make sure you take action and implement what you've learned today. To that effect, we've supplied the following battle plan. Step 1. Determine where you'll be curating your bonus content. Step 2. Select bonus content that meets the 3 big criteria of relevance, utility, and value. Step 3. Review the inside of your bonus content to ensure it meets minimum quality standards. And Step 4. Use the instructions above to produce a gorgeous representation of your bonus materials.